Hey everybody, this video is all about GPA. What is GPA? Why is GPA important? And how is it calculated? So listen up, let's jump in. Okay, first off, GPA stands for grade point average, and it's basically a numerical value that we assign to your letter grades so that we can take an average of all your grades together. And the reason it's important is because a lot of organizations and groups look at your GPA for all sorts of reasons, and they don't really have time to get to know who you are in many cases. So they look at one number, the cumulative GPA, and that tells them quickly what type of grades overall you've gotten during high school. And there are two types of GPAs. There is a term GPA, which is basically an average of all the grades you've got in one individual term, like a quarter or a semester. There's also cumulative GPA, which is, I think, the more important GPA to look at, and that is an average of all your grades throughout all of high school. And that's the one located at the bottom of your transcript. So let's get into GPA and how to calculate it. Okay, first off, before we calculate GPA, we have to understand what number is assigned to each letter grade. For example, at Springfield High School, if you have an A for a class, you assign that A a 4.0. It could be an A minus, an A, or an A plus. It doesn't matter, it still gets a 4.0. Same thing with a B minus, a B, or a B plus. Doesn't matter which of those, it gets a 3.0. A C minus, a C, or a C plus gets a 2.0. A D minus, a D, or a D plus gets a 1.0. And an F gets a 0. Important note, you may see other letters on your transcript, such as P for pass, NP for no pass, NB for no basis, and G for no grade, maybe even a WD for withdraw. There's others that may be out there too. If you see any of those letters, it's important to note that class associated with those letters is not going to be taken into account with your GPA. So we're only looking at classes with letter grades A through F. So I'm going to use a 9th grade transcript as an example to help you guys visualize how to calculate GPA. So this is a 9th grader that's currently at Springfield High School. They've completed 2 quarters. Quarter 1 is here, quarter 2 is here. You can see the classes they've taken, the grades that were finalized, and the credit associated with each of those classes. And right here, you'll see the GPA for that quarter, quarter 1, and the GPA for quarter 2. Now, in order to calculate this, it's pretty simple, guys. If you have an A, in the margin over here, you can assign it a 4. This A will have another 4. This B will have a 3. And this A will have a 4. So that's 4 classes for that term. We're going to add those numbers up. They equal 15. And we're simply going to divide that 15 by how many classes we took to that quarter, which is 4. So 15 divided by 4 classes gives you that 3.75. And that's how you calculate GPA. That's the quarter GPA. Now this quarter is a little different because we have 3 C's and an NB for no basis. So remember, a C equals a 2. So we're going to do a 2 there, a 2 there, and a 2 here. Now NB is no basis and is not calculated in the GPA. So basically GPA-wise, it's like that class doesn't exist. So if you wanted to do cumulative average, cumulative GPA is found at the bottom of your transcript, and this is a 3.0 in this case. And the way it's calculated in this transcript is taking all of these classes, all of these numbers, adding them up in total. So you're going to add everything to get 21. And in this case, you're going to divide by how many classes that count toward the GPA, which is 4 up here and 3 here, which equals 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3.0, and that is the cumulative GPA found here. Now it's important to note, if this NB was an F, we would divide by 8. Okay, so it takes the GPA down. So that's GPA. That's how to calculate it. If you want to get fancy and figure out and predict what your GPA might be later, for example, let's say you're taking 4 classes this term and you have a 3.2 and you're wondering, hey, if I get 4 A's, will I be at a 3.5? You can actually calculate out and predict using this calculation method. So you give all of your current classes an A, for example, and all the classes that you've taken in the past, you add up individually, and then you divide by all those classes plus the classes that you're taking now. And then you can predict what GPA you will get if you have all A's. You can do that with all B's, all C's, and you can play with that for a while if you want. So that's GPA. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in another video.